this week on this television station. Mr. Saito will be in action. Also, you'll be seeing interesting videotape highlights of Bill Dundee against Stan Lane for the U.S. Junior title.
Another match coming up today, Candyman against the Raider. That's Ray Candy, of course. And then a big six-man tag team match with, well, we'll tell you more about that, but it's going to be something super.
Join us this week for an action-packed hour of Southeastern Championship Wrestling. He won that title from Mr. Saito recently. We'll be talking with Ron about that big victory in just a matter of moments on today's program. We'll be seeing Mr. Saito in action along with Ray Candy. Our main event, six-man tag action, and we hope you'll stay with us. Jimmy Golden.
Excuse me, but I got a real important announcement for everybody, and I want y'all all to pay attention. I got $10,000 right here to the wrestler, to the man, to anybody. You don't have to be no wrestler. I'm saying anybody that will put Ron Fuller in the hospital. It worked once on Robert Fuller, and it's going to work again on
Let
Ron.
me remind you, we'll be talking about
nothing. $10,000.
what he knows, as well as the promotion of Southeastern Wrestling, that this bounty situation is getting out of hand. They're watching the situation with Jimmy Golden, and International Sports Incorporated, of course, investigating that, along with other matters taking place here in the Southeastern Wrestling area. We'll have more details on our personality profile today. We're about ready for action to get underway. Let's go to the ring.
Your attention, please. Our first match, one fall, 10-minute time limit to referee Bruce Fortson. Bruce Fortson, your referee. Introducing in the corner to my left at 220 pounds from Tallahassee, Florida, Lon Maxwell. Lon Maxwell. His opponent at 245 pounds from Tokyo, Japan, Mr. Saito. Saito.
Mr. Saito, the former Southeastern heavyweight champion, defeated for that title by Ron Fuller, taking on Lon Maxwell, our opening match. Collar and elbow, side headlock by Maxwell, hip toss takedown, but good way out with those head scissors. Saito. Excellent competitor here in the Southeastern Wrestling area, one of the most amazing men to watch in that squared circle. Look at that takedown. Sweeping that leg into a toe hold, applying that pressure to the bottom portion of the leg. The ankle, of course, in this particular hold, taking a lot of the pressure. Lon Maxwell, up-and-coming competitor. Maxwell, quite a capable man in that ring. But look at that takedown, almost like an arm drag. Saito, there again, Al.
I'll tell you what, Charlie, Saito is a very compact, a very muscle-bound 245-pounder. And he moves in that ring like a cat for a big man that he is. And take nothing away from Saito. He's an interesting wrestler to watch. Some of his tactics may be very questionable indeed. But still, you cannot deny the man his just due, and that is he is a fine wrestler. Oh, tremendous move by Saito on Maxwell. The count of two. Hold is broken. Saito with a forearm to the back. Another one to the back. Of course, he has been questioned many times about the karate moves he has in that ring. He denies that he uses karate, but I'm not that much of an expert on karate, so I could not tell the...
You see that kick being thrown in by Saito.
Just enough to throw Maxwell off balance, and it looked like Maxwell lost a little feeling in that leg for just a second. And then that's when Saito took over. Many moves that this man has from Tokyo, Japan. Of course, you can see Jimmy Golden there waving that big wad of money. He's got there $10,000.
Of course, that bounty being placed on Ron Fuller, and that's very much in question. International Sports Incorporated, we mentioned a moment ago, looking into that situation, along with other problems being caused around the arenas, and we'll have more on that on Personality Profile. Saito with a double chop.
That's what he's being questioned about. He said that's not karate. Now, what he does different to make that not karate, I don't know. Oh, tremendous takedown. Looked like a side-through play. It was a real quick one, and that was enough to do Lon Maxwell in.
It's over, and your winner of the match from Tokyo, Japan, Mr. Saito. Saito, your winner of our first match, and A lot of action upcoming on Southeastern Wrestling today. Still to come, you'll see Ray the Candyman Candy in action. We'll be going into the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee in a few minutes and taking a look at Stan Lane in action against Bill Dundee. Right now, joining us, the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. Ron, first of all, congratulations on your win on the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship.
Well, thank you, Charlie. It's really an honor. As you know, this part of the country means a lot to me. I've been here all my life, born and raised here. I've always wanted to hold this belt. Every time I've ever had it, it's quite an honor. And this time, for my brother, more so than anybody else, it's a bigger honor than ever, Charlie. This is for Robert. This is for Robert.
Let's go into the arenas now and take a look at the action in which you go up against Saito. Before this match took place, you were injured.
That's right, Charlie. I went into this match with a little bit of a handicap. I already had a hole in my head, and what they just picked up on there, they just missed the spot where Saito hit me with a karate, and the karate is an illegal move. It should have been an automatic disqualification at that point, but the referee didn't see it. And as you can see here, he's biting that cut that's on my head, and that's the worst thing you can do is put your mouth on some kind of wound, and it makes it real hard for your head to get well after something like this. And he's really enjoying this. He's really digging into it, really enjoying this. You can see in the background, Jimmy Golden, the Rat's already down there at ringside cheering Saito on, and at the same time, Ray Candy came down. I want to help Ray. I want to thank Ray for helping me out. He came and he kept an eye on Golden, and he kept him out of this match. And you can see Saito there. He's using that chop to his advantage, and he's staying right on top of me. And he's a strong man. He's a real strong Japanese wrestler. He's about the best probably the best in the world. And here I'm going to start coming back a little bit, and I'm going to take care of him. Got him going here.
And you see going into the turnbuckle.
Yep, and at this point, Charlie, I felt like I had the man. He kicked me here, and then you're going to see Golden in just a second trying to trip me. And both of us have on black and white boots, and I think he gets a little. See, he's reaching in right here. He's already reaching for a leg, but he can't get a hold of anything. He's reaching and reaching, and he's going to make a big mistake here. He got the wrong boot. Got the wrong boot right there. And there's Ray holding him out. And 1, 2, 3 count. And now you can see there's a man that's really upset right there, Jimmy Golden. And at this point, I think the referee comes around and hands me the belt. And needless to say, Charlie, I'm one happy man at this point. One happy man. Whole lot of people happy, too.
The new Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller.
I'd like to say, too, Charlie, I'm going to hold this belt a long time, Jimmy Golden. And you can keep bringing that money, Golden. I don't know. You can keep robbing banks or whatever. You can make it 10. You can make it 20. You can make it 50. Ain't nobody going to put me in the hospital, Jimmy Golden. You're going to be going before I do.
Ron Fuller, the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion. Upcoming, we'll be going to Memphis, Tennessee by means of videotape, taking a look at Stan Lane in action against Bill Dundee when Southeastern Wrestling can return. A lot of action taking place this coming Monday night in Bountiful Auditorium. The Bounty Southeastern title match. Ron Fuller defends against Mr. Saito. Ray goes after the Alabama title of Jimmy Golden. No disqualification clause on that match. Let's hear the comments of Jimmy Golden and Mr. Saito.
Ray Candy, you know something? I'm ashamed of you, boy. You come into this area and supposed to be so big and bad. You ain't nothing but a joke, son. You've been eating too much of that cotton candy and done got all fat and out of shape, and you can't get the job done. You need to quit passing out that candy, boy, and get some fight into you. Come out there ready for a fight, because that's what you're going to have to do to get this title. You big, but you just ain't bad enough, Daddy. And then, Saito, I want to see you come out of Birmingham a rich man with $10,000. I want that Ron Fuller in the mud. I want him down in the dirt. I want him hurt bad. Do you understand me?
Okay,
Money make you happy. Squeeze his head right off.
Hi. Already she's brother. Nobody put super hole. Now, brother, no foot up next to you. I super hole you. You take the hospital. You cry. You spit blood. He's sick all day.
Mr. Saito and Jimmy Golden, Ray.
Let me say one thing. As I was on the way in, some kids weighed me down. They was playing ball.
They said, Mr. Candy Man, we don't have no money to buy no candy. Would you give us some? That's why I don't have none here today, because I gave it to them. And as I was getting ready to leave, they said, we heard about your title match with Jimmy Golden. Will you put the Candy Man splash on him for? And I said, I sure enough will. So when I come into Birmingham, you better be ready, Jimmy Golden, for a big splash.
Ron?
I'd love to see that too, Candy Man. Also, I want to ask you while you're sitting here, Ray, I'm sure you got plans of being at ringside, Jimmy Golden. Would you sit in my corner, Ray, if he does?
I'll be more than happy to.
Very good. Then come Monday night in Boutwell, we're going to get down, Jimmy Golden, me and Saito. He ain't going to be wearing this belt. This belt is of a lot of value to me. And the $10,000, Jimmy Golden, you just wasting your money, son. You might as well put it back in the bank or wherever you stole it from, because Monday night, I'm going to keep the title, and I'm going to get your Jap's butt.
A lot of action taking place throughout the arenas here in the Southeastern Wrestling area. Action coming up this Thursday night at Valparaiso, Florida, the Lewis Junior High Gym at 8:30. Austin Dennis Condry, the Southeastern Tag Champions, have joined us now. And,
you know, the last thing we want to do, Charlie Plant, is sit out here and listen to you bump your gums. Everybody's seen what Jerry Stubbs did to me, brought a board in on TV and gave me a slight head concussion. But they didn't see what I did after I came back from the hospital with me and my cousin. My cousin was there taking them on along, but he knew that I would be there sooner or later. And we want you to show this film to these people and show them.
I can't show
right now, Charlie.
Sports Incorporated is reviewing.
You can't what? Can't is not in our vocabulary. Don't ever say can't to us.
I can't until I get the okay from International Sports Incorporated.
You'll
to
show it this week or next week or sometime, because we'll have our lawyers on it. You can bet your booty on that, brother.
It's just a matter of time, Charlie Platt. You want to stand out here and you want to tell all these people what they do to us, but you don't want to show us when we beat their brains out, do you? Well, that's all right, because I'm going to tell you one thing. We've got lawyers working on it with International Sports, and I guarantee you people will see the final outcome of what they did to my cousin and what we did to them, brother.
There's some action that we're not able to show at this time because International Sports Incorporated
what seems to be the main malfunction, Charlie Platt?
International Sports Incorporated is reviewing the tape. They think there's too much violence in it. Until I get the okay, I cannot show
Anytime you see my cousin, you're going to see, and you see us together, you're going to see violence.
Interesting
and
comment.
You're about to see violence right now.
The Southeastern Tag Champions, Randy Rose and Dennis Condry. For 4.5 months, he held the United States Junior Heavyweight Championship. His name is Stan Lane. And Stan, this past week, you were defeated for that title in the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, by Bill Dundee.
Charlie Platt, they said it couldn't be done, and quite frankly, I thought it couldn't be done myself. But it happened, and a lot of lesser men would come out here crying, laden with excuses, telling you why it did happen. Now, let me just say this. I'm too much of a man. I've got too much class to come out here and make up excuses. But when you travel all over the country, as I do, to defend this belt, whether it be San Francisco, the Cow Palace, L.A., whether it be the Omni or Minneapolis, Minnesota, or Memphis, Tennessee, sometimes you get a little run down, you know? When you've got women beating on your door 24 hours a day, starlets calling you, and you're defending that belt, sometimes you get a little tired, and that's what happened in Memphis, Tennessee. I got a little tired, a little run down, but I'm not making excuses. The guy pinned me, but he paid the price, as you're going to see very shortly.
Let's go into the arena in Memphis, Tennessee, and take a look at the action. The last few minutes of the match, you against Bill Dundee, and at this point in the match, Dundee is severely lacerated. He has a broken nose at this point.
The guy is a rugged individual. He's from Australia. I didn't know that much about Bill Dundee going into this match. I watched several training films sent down from parts of the Tennessee wrestling area. I underestimated the guy. That's not an excuse, though, because I'm always in tip-top shape. But I didn't realize the guy was as tough as he is. As you can see right now, ladies and gentlemen, all throughout the match, I had the upper hand. 90% of the match, he was on the canvas, and I was up just as I am right now. Threw a big knee right in the face. The guy had a broken nose. I understand it was fractured in 3 places. The referee should have stopped the match. The guy was bleeding profusely. The match should have been stopped for excessive blood. But it's happened so many times before, Charlie Platt. I go into an area, this is his hometown, and the official was quite partial. I thought it was quite evident. The official did not stop the match. It should have been stopped. The guy was beat, he was hurt, and he was bleeding profusely, and the match should have been stopped.
Here you see arm drag takedown by Dundee. There's that headbutt again.
I hate to resort to tactics like this, but in a championship match in front of 40-some thousand plus people there in the Mid-South Auditorium in Memphis, Tennessee, the tide of battle had been getting quite vicious. Right here, he stopped the abdominal stretch on me. A lot of lesser men would have succumbed to this hold. It's a very painful hold. It puts a lot of pressure on the lower back and also the rib cage. As you can see, I hold on for at least a good half a minute. I'm starting to go out a little bit right now, and an involuntary muscle spasm coming up very shortly, and without meaning to, strike the referee right here coming up. I'm almost out, but I'm still conscious. I'm thinking about grabbing the rope. And involuntary muscle spasm right there across my arm to shoot out and hit the referee. Whether it was intentional or not, Charlie Platt, makes no difference. The referee should have stopped the match right here. I should have been disqualified. I hate to say that, but as much as it pains me to say it, I should have been disqualified right here, and he should have been awarded the match.
Could that be what Stan Lane was after, the automatic disqualification for striking the referee in that form? But in just a moment, you'll see the referee start the match again.
I hate to say it, but the match should have been stopped right here. I should have been defeated. He should have had his hand raised, but although I would have still remained the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion. An involuntary muscle spasm caused me my arm to shoot out and strike the referee. I didn't mean to. I never strike referees. I'm a class wrestler, and I never have to resort to tactics like this. You see right here, look at him, a closed fist. So I said, I'm tired of this. I shoot a side kick out to the guy's throat, and once again, as so many times before, he's down on the mat on his back, hurt.
And here we see you once again opening up on Bill Dundee.
Look at these gut shots right here, brother, right in the ribs. The guy's beat.
Turned more into a boxing match.
Anything it takes, Charlie Platt. I'm a champion, and I want to hold on to that belt, and I'll do whatever I have to do to hold on to it. I'm throwing him in right now for a backdrop.
Now here's where he makes his move. Flying press off of that.
Have you ever in your life, have you ever seen a fastest 3 count in your life? In any other arena in the country, whether it be the Kiel, the Omni, the Cow Palace, that was a 1.5 count. That was not a 3 count. The referee counted 3 in a period of about 1 second. Right now, I lose my temper, and I said, hey, this guy's going to pay the price of greatness. I'm going to kill this guy right here in front of 40,000 people. I'm sick of the fish ate in there. It's a roundhouse kick to the ear. The guy's down on his back again, and he's beat, and he's hurt. The nose is fractured. He paid the price, and I'm going to get my belt back, Dundee, if I have to put you in a hospital to do it.
You're hearing the comments of Stan Lane, who was defeated, as you just saw in the videotape, a Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, by Bill Superstar Dundee from Australia for the United States Junior Heavyweight title. And our good friend in Memphis, Tennessee, Lance Russell, had a chance to talk to Bill Dundee a couple of days after the match. Let's hear those comments.
Hi, this is Lance Russell, and I got to tell you, this is a real pleasure to be talking here to a gentleman that over the past few years has become not only a friend of mine, but a guy I admire tremendously. I'm talking about Superstar Bill Dundee. And Billy, first, I got to say publicly right here, congratulations on your win over Stan Lane for the U.S. Junior Heavyweight title. It was a super bout, no question about it. I understand that your first defense is going to be for the International Sports Incorporated Southeast area, and that you will be going into that area down there, which is no bad area.
Well, that's right, Lance. I got a couple of friends down there, Bob Armstrong and Ken Lucas, and Ken called me on the phone. He said, Bill, you're going to love it down here. He said, it's just like Australia. They've got miles and miles of beaches, and miles and miles of pretty women, and that's what Australia was all about, and they tell me that's what down that area is all about. Well, I'm looking forward to going down there, Lance, and I'm looking forward to seeing Ken Lucas and Bob Armstrong, but the two guys, and the one guy I'm looking mainly to see is Stan Lane. Now, you can say that I think this is the way that's like a chess game. He just played better chess than I did for a little while of it. Now, we got the wrestling thing going, and I really thought he'd come to wrestle. He said, I watched his interview, and he said he'd send an interview and tell him how great a wrestler he was, and he is a good wrestler. I don't know, he just suckered me along the way for about 15 minutes. We go in, I don't know, up against the rope some way, and the next thing I know, you headbutted me. He broke my nose and blacked both my eyes. I'm not taking nothing off him. He's a real good wrestler. I can just tell you this, Stan Lane. I'm not going to sell you short on the wrestling no more, brother. If it's a wrestling match, that's fine. But maybe you wish watch at it. Maybe me to doing the headbutt now. Now, I'm just happy to win the belt. I mean, I can't even think. I don't really know what to say. But I can just say this, Stanley Lane. The next time you face across the ring, I'm going to know how you are. And you're not going to get away with breaking my nose again, brother. Now, I'm going to bring the belt down there, say hello to all the nice fans down there, like the people tell me. And Stan Lane, I'm taking it down there, and I'm going to wear it to the ring, and I'm going to wear it back.
I'll tell you this.
There's the comments of the new U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion from Australia, Bill Dundee.
You know, I heard the guy say he's going to defend the belt in the Southeast Wrestling area. Well, that's the last thing I wanted, because the people here have no class. They don't know what a true champion is. They don't have any respect for me. I wanted to get a retitle, a rematch in the Cow Palace in San Francisco or in L.A., where the people are beautiful just like I am, with the big city, the bright lights. And those people know what's going on, and they like me. They know I look good, and they know I can get the job done. I don't want to defend that belt here.
The former U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion Stan Lane will return with our personality profile in just a moment. International Sports Incorporated has directed me to make this particular profile today on various problems that are facing the competitors here in the Southeastern Wrestling area, and to let the fans know, as well as competitors, that there's some things being looked into by International Sports Incorporated and Southeastern Wrestling. Let me start with Jimmy Golden. That money you have in your hand is very much in question. International Sports Incorporated is taking a close look at you and these bounties that you're putting up. You're putting good professional athletes out of competition.
You know something, Charlie Pat? We're all in the professional wrestling to make money. That's what it's all about, is to make money, and that's what I'm doing, is making people money. These two fellas sitting right here on each side of us, they need the money. I got the money, and I'm going to see to it that Ron Fuller gets put out of action into the hospital. His brother Robert Fuller was fairly easy, but I suspect Ron Fuller's going to be pretty tough. But I am capable of raising the bounty. I've got more money, and I'll raise it to 15 to 20,000. It makes no difference. I'm going to get the job done, and I'm going to tell you this. I've been in contact with Ernie Ladd, former football player. I've been in contact with the Funk brothers, and I'm telling you, Ron Fuller, you're going to be out one way or the other, and I don't care who likes it, you, International Sports, NWA, or whatever. It ain't none of their business, and it don't matter. Here's the money, and my man's going to get the job done.
Some of the ways Mr. Saito conducts himself in the ring is very questionable, and International Sports Incorporated is concerned about your use of karate in matches here in the Southeastern Wrestling area.
And I do this, American announcer. I don't use karate. I never karate. I show you scientific wrestling. I am good amateur wrestling before. Japanese wrestler, all Japanese wrestlers, special me, good wrestler.
That's right. We are getting the comments of some things that are a problem here in the Southeastern Wrestling area, and as we said earlier in the profile, International Sports Incorporated is keeping a close watch looking into these various problems. I think it comes to mind the heart punch has been outlawed in about 3/4 of the United States now. International Sports Incorporated, however, has not at this time outlawed that particular hold, but they're looking seriously into outlawing it in this area.
Charlie, I got a question to ask you. Do they take the sleeper hold away from Ken Lucas? It's dangerous. Ron Fuller's got a leg hold that'll break many a leg, has broke legs. Do they take that away from him? That's dangerous. Bob Armstrong will chop you to pieces, use karate on you. They don't take that away from you. Is that dangerous? And then I want to say something else, Charlie, you hadn't pointed out. Right here on TV last week, Bob Armstrong stomped my hand right there in the middle of the ring and tried to break my hand, tried to do away with my livelihood. But have you said anything about that? No, you haven't. What's happened now, I had to take it onto my own initiative. I had to go to doctors. I had to get my hand straightened out, and I had to come up with something I could keep earning a living with. And so International Sports said, okay, Bass, you've got the brace. You need it. It's a legitimate reason to wear it. You can wear it. So that's what's going to happen, Charlie Platt. And just because I've got a maneuver like the heart punch, that is a little question mark whether it's lethal or not, which I might say kind of pleases me a little bit. But till they take somebody else's hold away, I'm going to keep using the heart punch. It's my finishing move. It's what I can do best, and that's what I'm going to do. And I think that I'll win a lot of matches with it, my friend.
Comments of Ron Bass, Jimmy Golden, and Mr. Saito. Problems that we're having here in the Southeastern Wrestling area with these competitors, and once again, International Sports Incorporated is looking into all three of these situations, and we'll have more on this matter a little later. That's our profile for today.
All right, our next match is 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Coming into the arena, and will be in the corner to my left. At 320 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, Ray, the Candyman Candy, Ray Candy. His opponent from parts unknown at 200 pounds, the Raider,
Raider taking on the Candyman, Ray Candy from Atlanta, Georgia. And coming up, stay with us, our television main event today will be a special six-man tag match. Six-man tag action upcoming on today's edition of Southeastern Wrestling. The Raider going in on Candy. Quick on the start of the match, the Candyman. Good forearm right across the back of the neck. And again, the Raider catches a hard right high. Across the ring, takes his man up. There's that full body slam. 320 pounds, Al.
Charlie, it's hard to understand how anyone can stay in the ring with this big man. He's got all the moves you ever want, plus that 320 pounds and tremendous power. This is the splash coming up. It looks like it. It is. That's the Candy splash on top of the Raider for the count of 3, and it's over.
Over in a hurry, and your winner of the match from Atlanta, Georgia, of course, Ray the Candyman Candy. And as we said, coming up, six-man tag action, our television main event. We'll be talking to Bob Armstrong and others today. Wish we could, maybe we can get instant replay on that almost record time win of Ray Candy. Ray Candy, of course, winner in very short time in that match with the Candyman splash. There we see it. Again, your winner of the match from Atlanta, Georgia, Ray the Candyman Candy. I'd like to ask Bob Armstrong to come out and join us. And Bob, I see.
Yep. This is for old Ron Bass, you know. If all it takes to be a cowboy is a big hat and a cigar, then I'm just as big a cowboy as Ron Bass. Wouldn't you say today, Charlie?
If that's all it takes, you're right. We have some action. Let's go into the arenas now and take a look at the action. Ron Bass against Bob Armstrong.
Now, right here you see old Ron Bass. He's got them big old 20-inch arms around me, but he can't hold that hand because I stomped that in the mat last week when he tried to use that chain on me. And here a little old punch took his wind out of there on his sternum fernum, and he's kind of hurting himself there now. That thing's going. Now, that's what you call a jaw jacking right there. You get that jaw just right, you have jacked his jaw. I wanted to plant some toes in there, too, because he'd been hurting me a little bit. And you're going to see I ain't through. I jaw-jacked him again. I wanted to backslap him, but I didn't get him in the right position. But I'm telling you, brother, that's just what I'm doing, too. And there's nothing. That'll loosen your teeth a little bit, too, you know, when put in the right place. Now, right here, he's fooling that elbow pad, and I reached to grab him, and he crossed my running lights right here, Charlie. I'm the first to admit it. Knocked me on out of the ring. I couldn't see nothing but stars, man. I thought I was in Hollywood for sure. Now, he came out right here. He tries to put that hard punch on me right here, but I raked his eyes. I had my hands in some of that good old red dirt, and I hated to do it, but I felt like I had to. When you're going to get hard punch, you do a whole lot of things. And now I'm jacking his jaw a little bit outside, and he decides to take a flight. You know, he just took off back for Tampa, Texas or something. We fought all the way back to the dressing room. I came back trying to figure a way to get him back down there, and let's just finish the fight tonight. And I saw that big, pretty cowboy hat that he wears, and I thought, boy, if he thinks as much as this cowboy hat as most cowboys do, I can get him back in this ring with this cowboy hat right here. So I put it on, got on my little horse, as you're going to see in a minute, and I rode it around the ring, trying to get that boy back in the ring some way. Well, the thing about it is, Bass, we got a bunch of them coming up, boy, and I'm ready for you in fine cowboy style, and the next time I see you, I'll have this cigar lit for you.
Comments of Bob Armstrong, our television main event. Still to come, six-man tag action. Stay with us.
classic of the motorcycle industry, the Yamaha 650 Vertical Twin now has a new big brother, the Yamaha 750 Virago, with a 750cc overhead cam V-twin engine, drive shaft, air-adjustable monoshock, electric start, electronic ignition, hydraulic disc brake and mag wheels, with a low 29-inch seat height. Come by for a test drive today at Koshat's Kawasaki Yamaha, Alabama's #1 motorcycle dealership.
Experience it at Koshat's today.
Look out, mouth. Watch out, hips. I'm bringing the world's fastest soft drink to my lips.
Mellow Yellow makes you feel so good, so fast. From your head down to your toes. Mellow Yellow makes you feel so good, so fast. You just can't drink it slow.
Look out, throat. Watch out, thirst. This Mellow Yellow's as good as the first.
Mellow Yellow makes you feel so good, so fast.
The best news is here on TV 48 with Tom Kinnemer and Missy Mean.
Now that I'm part of the News 48 news team, I'll be working even harder to bring you the most accurate and complete local news here in the Tennessee Valley.
Missy and I are proud to call News 48 our new home, and we hope you'll join us weeknights at 6 for local news, sports, and weather here on News 48.
Tom Kinnemer and Missy Mean join News 48 Monday. It's the best news in the Tennessee Valley.
That's my neighbor, Fred. He's putting up his new antenna. I told him, Fred, you got to make sure the area is safe before you begin work. Check for power lines that the antenna could touch or fall into, now or later. I said, a little safety goes a long way. Fred's a great guy, but sometimes he doesn't listen too well. Uh-oh, I think Fred has just become a statistic.
Southeastern Wrestling this coming Monday night, Boutwell Auditorium here in Birmingham. The Southeastern title will be defended in a bounty match, $10,000, as Ron Fuller defends against Mr. Saito. Alabama title, Golden against Candy, no disqualification. Special six-man elimination tag match. Also, this coming Monday night, you'll be seeing Bill Dundee defend that U.S. Junior title against former champion Stan Lane. And in a challenge match, no disqualification, Ron Bass takes on Bob Armstrong. Let's hear the comments of Bob Armstrong.
You know, you can call me Ron Bass, you can call me Big Mouth Bass, or you can call me Jackass. And you'll be right all 3 times. Now, when I get to Birmingham, I like wrestling you first. We're going to be on the first match, only this time it's going to be a no disqualification match. And you can see that I don't need your cowboy gear no more. I went out and got me a big old cowboy hat. And after Boutwell is through, there's going to be enough knots on your head, boy, to fit this big old hat. And I'll have my cigar lit in Boutwell.
Ron?
Bob Armstrong. The man, he tried to break my hand, Bob Armstrong. That was your first mistake. And now you just made your number 2 and the biggest one that you'll ever make in your life. You done made fun of the big bass man, my friend. Bob Armstrong, you have stepped in something that you don't know what you've got into and you don't know how you're going to get out of, because the big heart punch is coming your way, Bob Armstrong. They're going to carry you out on stretchers. They're going to carry you out and they're going to put you where all the has-beens have gone, Bob Armstrong. I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to listen real good. I'm going to remember it because I'm as big as an elephant and I got the memory of one. And things that you've done now, Bob Armstrong, is going to be all over when I get to Boutwell Auditorium, my friend.
Your attention, please. Our next match is one fall TV time remaining 6-man tag team match. Introducing, in the corner to my left, at a combined weight of 653 pounds, Brad Armstrong, Ken Lucas, and Mr. Olympia. Armstrong, Lucas, and Olympia. Their opponents at a combined weight of 732 pounds, Ron Bass, Stan Lane, and Jimmy Golden. Bass, Lane, and Golden taking on the trio of Lucas, Brad Armstrong, and Mr. Olympia. Time remaining, television main event, 6-man tag action.
this is a main eventer anywhere in the country. Our capacity crowd here in the television studio ready for this one.
They aren't the only ones talking. I've been ready ever since we talked about it. This is a main event anywhere, but we're most fortunate to have it here on TV.
Certainly our hats off to the International Sports Incorporated in Southeastern Wrestling for putting this big six-man tag on television. Side headlock.
A wide-awake Mr. Olympia. Puts the move on to Jimmy Golden. Right now, it's Lane and Golden talking things over. Lane will stay in there against Mr. Olympia. Side headlock now by Mr. Olympia. Stan Lane with a body toss. Olympia up and over. Arm drag takedown by Lane. Kick. Arm drag takedown by Mr. Olympia. Another one by Mr. Olympia. On Stan Lane, Mr. Olympia tags in his partner, Ken Lucas. Lucas comes in with a side headlock and comes away on Stan Lane. Studio fans all fired up. Ken Lucas is fired up. Jimmy Golden trying to make heads or tails of what's going on here. Ken Lucas comes out swimming. Jimmy Golden back under the top rope, calling for a timeout. Now they lock it up. Golden takes a body block. Under goes Ken Lucas. Lucas comes up and clear. Great anticipation by Ken Lucas. And Jimmy Golden. There's tag in Ron Bass. What a tremendous start to this match. TV time remaining, six-man tag. Right now it's Ken Lucas and Ron Bass. Side headlock by Lucas. Tags in Brad Armstrong. Armstrong with a hard right to the midsection. Still holds on that side headlock. Bass rolls him over for the count of two, but Armstrong kicks out and retains that side headlock. Bass using the hair. Referee Bruce Fortson is there to break it up, though. It's still Brad Armstrong with the advantage on Ron Bass, 280 pounds from Tampa, Texas. And Brad Armstrong, of course, 205 pounds from Marietta, Georgia. But the talent this man has is just short of unbelievable.
You're looking at the 1981 NWA Rookie of the Year. And hopefully next week we'll be making that official presentation to Brad on the show live. Side headlock by...
There's some of the awareness that Brad has picked up in this his first year of professional wrestling. He noticed the tag and quickly got out of the way of any trouble.
Big man from Texas back in, Ron Bass. Collar and elbow, it's Bass with that left arm twisting and tags in former U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion Stan Lane. Arm twist again, reversal by Brad Armstrong. He tightens up, tags Mr. Olympia. Olympia in, putting that fist right into the arm of Stan Lane. Tags now made with Lucas. Lucas tightening up again, and Lane gives in. Barring that left arm of Stan Lane. What a television main event. Six-man tag action. And the team of the trio of Olympia, Armstrong, and Lucas, Al, right now, they're going in and out very effectively, and that's what it's all about. They're keeping a fresh man in at all times.
No doubt about it, and a six-man match, of course, is a little bit different. You've got to be careful who you tag in. You've got to be alert of who just came out so that you can keep that man, give him a chance to rest up. So the tagging process is a little different than in, of course, your four-man tag match. That's what makes this an exciting match. So far, it has been. And as Charlie pointed out, Armstrong, Lucas, and Olympia have had the advantage here in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this match. TV time remaining, don't forget. It's Stan Lane and Brad Armstrong. Lane with the leg takedown. Tags in Ron Bass. He locks up that left leg of Brad Armstrong. Ron Bass starts to work on it, putting on 280 pounds in the upper thigh of Brad Armstrong. Comes down, locks that leg up. A lot of pressure on that knee as it's twisted sideways and down toward the mat. Bass is asking the referee to check and see if Armstrong was to submit. But Armstrong is not submitting. So, Bass will go over to Jimmy Golden, his second appearance in this match. Golden comes in against Brad Armstrong. Puts that boot to the back. With the hair, that'll call for the break. Golden almost going crazy there for just a second. Heard the count and broke it up. A knee lift sends Armstrong down on his back. Golden drags him across the ring. Sits down on that leg with that leg stretched on the bottom rope.
They're working over that left leg of Brad Armstrong. And Stan Lane comes in, stretching it out. Putting full pressure, and again dropping that arm and weight into the left leg of Brad Armstrong. Step over toe hold. And some extra leverage from Mr. Bass from outside of the ring. Olympia comes in. And we have a change out there, and I don't believe the ring officials saw that. No tag was made. They swapped it out. And they continue to key on the left leg of Brad Armstrong. As we said, Brad Armstrong, NWA Rookie of the Year. Next week hopefully we'll be making the official presentation to Brad for that very prestigious honor. Also, we'll be having live in the studio with us next week, Australian Bill Dundee, the new U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Very exciting wrestler and a fun man to talk to. He's very refreshing, just a delight to have down here in the Southeast. We're looking forward to that.
He won that title from Stan Lane, Mid-South Coliseum, Memphis, Tennessee, capacity crowd, and we look forward to seeing superstar Bill Dundee with us next week. In the meantime, they're continually tagging in and out, keying on that left leg of Brad Armstrong. Armstrong needing desperately to make the tag. So far, the trio of Golden, Lane, and Bass have prevented that tag from being made. Now, there you go. Bass back in.
Charlie, they have stretched that leg every way it can be stretched. Sideways, backward, over his head. And you can start to see it reddening now. His left leg is turning bright red up in the upper thigh there. From the second rope, Lane comes down and hits it square. Referee was distracted in the other corner by the anxious teammates of Brad Armstrong, Ken Lucas, and Mr. Olympia. And in the meantime, Lane came down from the second rope. Armstrong trying to make the tag. Can't do it as Lane has his legs. And Jimmy Golden takes over, now starts to work. Armstrong trying to break out of it. Can't stand up on that left leg. Armstrong is in the opposite corner, crawling around, trying to get out. Makes the move. Can't do it, Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia comes in and starts to take charge.
Olympia takes Stan Lane hard right to the top of the head, and again, he's on Jimmy Golden. All men in the ring now. This match about out of hand as all 6 men are in the ring. It's Bass with Brad Armstrong taking him over the top rope. Hurdle over that top rope. Brad Armstrong fighting back.
Wait a minute, here comes Condry and Rose in there. I don't know what they're doing in there. No business whatsoever. And Bob Armstrong is here. He's on Ron Bass. Brad Armstrong's on Jimmy Golden. Armstrong working on Bass. Rose behind, Condry behind. They have Armstrong
for breath. Bob Armstrong, let's get out of this. Certainly upsetting, the situation that just took place with Bob Armstrong. There is this coming Monday night in Banfield Auditorium a six-man elimination match. You and Ken Lucas, along with Brad Armstrong, will take on Dennis Condry, Randy Rose, and their mystery partner. Let's cut away to another studio, get the comments of Condry and Rose.
Excuse me just a minute, boys, if you don't mind. Bob Armstrong, who's laughing now? Who's the man that's on top of the world now? Well, it ain't you, my friend. And let's see if you can drag that little skinny body of yours and get the bout well Monday night and get it again, my friend. There's only one thing they've been calling us, and that's eliminators. That's what we love, is an elimination match. After we eliminate you, the Halloween reject, the Pillsbury Doughboy, we might just work on the little rookie for a long, long time.
Rose and Condry.
Well, you know, there's nothing we like better than a six-man elimination tag match. Because when we eliminate your mystery partner, we don't care who it is. People may wonder who it is, but don't worry about it. We'll take care of him. Then it's going to leave 3-on-2. Rose and Condry against myself, Ken Lucas, and Brad Armstrong. Don't sell him short because he can handle himself.
You know, those two guys has made some real bad comments about myself and Mr. Olympia. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Rose. I want to tell you real plain. You've called me Pillsbury Doughboy, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. I may slap you up against the face 2 or 3 times to get your attention, boy. Then I'm going to go right after Condry, because myself and Olympia and Brad Armstrong is going to go out to do one thing, and that's win that match. And we're going to do it any way we can, because after we eliminate El Diablo, we're coming to get you.
Excuse me, I hate to interrupt here. You hurt my dad, you hurt him bad. He's down, but he's not out. He's no quitter. Let me tell you something, Condry, Rose, Bass, you're going to pay.
Brad Armstrong coming in, certainly...
I don't blame him, Charlie. I don't blame him at all. And I'll tell you one thing. I know Bob Armstrong, and I'll guarantee you one thing. He's going to come back, and I pity Ron Bass, too, my man.
It'll all take place this coming Monday night. A lot of action in Birmingham's Banfield Auditorium. The six-man elimination tag match. The Alabama title, no disqualification. Southeastern title with the bounty. Ron Fuller against Saito. And the U.S. Junior title defended Bill Dundee against Stan Lane. This coming Monday night at 8:30. Certainly a lot of action today. That outbreak recently with a hard punch. Al, maybe after the officials at International Sports Incorporated see this incident today, maybe something will be finalized on that hard punch.
Finalized is the word. There's been a lot of talk about, for sure, outlawing the hold, the move, the punch, whatever you want to call it. And maybe if they can view this, the tape of the program here, we can have a definite ruling on it. It's, as you can see, what happened to Bob Armstrong there, it's not a very pretty thing to see at all.
I'd like to remind you in the coming weeks, well, next week, in fact, we'll be having the, hopefully we'll be making the official presentation to Brad Armstrong. He is, in less than a year's time, in the professional wrestling, he has become the NWA Rookie of the Year, and that's certainly something to be proud of, not only for Brad and their family, but for all of us here at Southeastern Championship Wrestling. Also coming up next week, we'll have live with us in the studio, the Australian, the new U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, Bill Dundee, will be with us next week. And in the coming